What is going on, guys? You're on AlphaTech C programming course. And in this video we are going briefly to go over the implementation of our last example where we discussed how we are going to find the maximum between given two numbers. So first of all, as usual, we start with adding the includes. Then at the int main section, your entry point, create two variables num1 and num2 to hold the values read from the user. Then we should print some guiding message for the user that will help him in understanding exactly what he should do. And now we are going to read these two values one after the other to use two scanf functions. When the first one reads the value for num1 and the second scanf function for num2. And now we use our condition if num1 is greater than num2. And if that's the case, we know that num1 will hold the maximum, right? That's why we should print its value. So we simply use the printf and we just specify max equals to %d. And instead of %d, we know that it will be replaced by the value of num1, which is in this case the maximum value. Otherwise, else, we will print the value of num2 because we know that definitely num1 is not greater than num2 in this case. And at the end, of course, we will specify the return 0 that simply tells that our program has been terminated successfully to the operating system. Alright, so I hope the structure is clear to you guys. And now I want us to go over the flow of the code line by line, exactly as we've seen it previously, to see the exact commands that are being executed for the two different examples. So all the lines of code until the condition are nothing special. We already know exactly how to do them and how to write them, nothing special here. So let's just assume that num1 in this case will be 10 and num2 will be 5, okay? Meaning that there will be two variables behind the scenes, num1 and num1 will hold the value of 10 and num2 will hold the value of 5. And now let us use the condition and check if the value in variable num1 is actually greater than num2. So if that's the case, we are going to execute this line of code. And basically once we've executed this command, we are going to skip the else part and just return 0 as we always do. And we can actually say that that's it. Your program found out what is the maximum between these two values when the result of the condition was true. Alright, good job guys, I hope you keep up with the pace. I tried to summarize this topic, but yet to give you a lot of details, a lot of information, and to go with you line by line and show you actually how these conditions are actually executed behind the scenes. So I hope you're with me on that. So just to summarize all of these execution, if we've used two numbers 5 and 7, then this message of max equals to 7 will be printed on the screen. And now let's see the flow of the program if the value of num1 is not greater than the value of num2. So the steps are pretty much the same as previously, starting at the main, reading the values from the user. Let's say that here the first value will be let's say 3, which will be stored in num1, and the second value will be 5, which will be stored in num2. So now the result of the condition if num1 is greater than num2 will be false in such a case, right? And if it's false, that means we go to the else section right away. We simply skip the previous printf, right? Because it relates to the situation where the condition was true. So now we should simply execute this particular printf and just specify that max equals to %d and give the value of num2, because we know that currently num1 is not greater than num2. That's why we came here to the else section. And there you go. You can try running this code on your own, use a couple of examples, use a couple of different values, just play with it a little. make sure that everything works just as you've expected it to work. And also try to check and understand what will happen, what part of the code will run, and basically why, if the user uses two numbers which are the same, for example 5 and 5. So as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.